for the second time.
Yes, sir.
First time on a normal day.
Right.
He was here for our signing day coverage, and he's here every single Wednesday through the magic of the telephone.
Right.
Gotta love that. The old cell phone. We can get him whenever we need him. But he said, you know what? Spring football. I'm getting into what's going on here. I'm all fired up. I'm gonna rock my maroon, and I'm gonna come in studio. Former A&M defensive back, former NFL defensive back, Pugh,
yes,
Mr.
Sir.
Pushing upward and going higher,
sir.
Jordan Pugh.
How you doing?
How about that? What's going on, JP?
Nothing much, man. Just living life, enjoying watching practice, being in the studio, man. Finally get to be here on the radio station. It feels great.
I love it. I love it. This is a little bit better, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I like it a little better. Yeah, I think it's better than being on the phone in my office. So
yeah, exactly.
A little something.
Exactly.
Like
There's a little extra. There's always a little extra energy when you can, we can sit here and look at each other and talk a little football.
Of course, yeah. You know, have a little conversation back and forth, man. And now we're in person, you know, more engaging. I like it like that.
If you've got a football question for Jordan Pugh, call us. You're looking at your phone. He's looking at his phone. Normally we call him, but guess what? He's here, so you can call us. 693-1150. Call us up.
Any
Talk
questions you
football
have
with us.
We'll
go open mic today.
Let's do it.
693-1150. You can text at 229-1939. The lovely Alex Parker is over there in the social center. She's curating your texts and your tweets at TexAgs Radio. AP's looking for some Ask JP mailbag questions at the end. Alex, we got to get some good ones in here.
All right.
We need to pump them up.
Let's do it.
I'm getting ready for it. Bring it on.
She's ready for it, so bring it on. AP's in the social center, 229-1939 at TexAgs Radio. Now, I'm a little down this morning. It's Wednesday. Need a little JP pick-me-up. I know we got that Pugh Award coming up next week.
Yes, next week.
We've got a winner.
We do have a winner.
We're waiting to announce it.
Waiting to announce it till next week. Got a few, we got to get some fine details out of the way. But once we get that done, next week, it's finally here. We finally got one. Okay?
Yeah, we did get one. Now tell people what that is, what you're looking for every month. People are going to get some Jordan Pugh pushing up with going higher,
some apparel,
swag, some gear.
Yeah, a little swag, yeah.
That's always good. What you're looking for, and give us a little word of the day.
Well, the biggest thing I'm looking for with the award, though, I'm looking for somebody with, passion. Somebody who's passionate about the community. It can be anything athletic. It could be whatever you're doing in school, on your job, whatever it may be, and also a purpose behind that passion. Everybody, you have a purpose somewhere in life, and so you want to match that passion and that purpose together, and ultimately you perform on top of it. So when you look at pushing upward and going higher, it's those 3 Ps: passion, purpose, and performance. And we're looking for that in someone. Somebody you can nominate. So even if you want to nominate yourself, it's something on that end. But I just want to recognize somebody who's impacting lives, who's making difference in somebody else's life, and that's ultimately what the Pushing Upward Going Higher award is for, and recognition is for.
It is. You got a word for us?
I got a little word.
That picked me up just hearing it.
Here's I did have a word, but here's something that's striking me now, man. I think the thing that you want to do, man, you want to have a focused vision on whatever you want to do. So, a lot of times, and I'm at fault for this too, you see the success of other people. Sometimes you see what other people are doing, you see how they're working, you see what they're getting. And sometimes you end up living their vision instead of living your vision. And a lot of the times, man, you have to have a focused vision on your goal, your dream, what you're aspiring towards. So I think the biggest thing that, whoever this is for, you need to stay focused on your vision, live your life, and go after your dream, and keep pushing upward and going higher.
Yeah, comparison can be a dangerous thing.
Yes,
too.
It can. Yes, it can.
Do you see that a lot in the National Football League?
Of course.
Man, how does that guy get the big contract?
Oh, man,
I'm sitting here fighting for a job.
All the time. All the time. You see guys, man, you can even say guys that get in trouble. You see guys with the big contracts getting rewarded, and you're working hard, and comparison is very dangerous. You can't say that. And the thing that, just looking at myself, you got to remind yourself, like, hey, that's not my path right now. That's not for me. And so, when you look at it, man, you stay focused on what's for you, your vision, you go from there.
Jordan Pugh's with us. Our phone number is 693-1150 if you want to call us on the Mac Resource Computers hotline, or you can text via the Commerce National Bank inbox. Some good ones rolling in, JP. 229-1939, 979-229-1939. Now, you've been doing your homework on this team, been checking out what's going on, been talking to people. Obviously, you're into it. You did TV for KBTX last year, and now doing it with us. You're not a guy who just comes in and wings it. You do your homework.
Oh, yes, I do.
Overall, kind of a big picture, who and what, in your opinion, is just kind of standing out right now when it comes to this football team, be it offense, defense, you name it?
Oh, well, let's start with offense. Let's do something different today.
There you go. Good.
So, out at practice yesterday, got a chance to finally see him live in action. I'll tell you who I like was Christian Kirk. I liked him. Quick, agile,
really
good
good.
hands. Great build too, especially for a true freshman coming in. Great build, and you match him, Speedy Noyle. You got Seals. Those three at receiver.
That's not even to factor in Josh Reynolds.
Yeah,
Think about Josh
that's
Reynolds.
what I'm saying. This is what I like though. If it was a perfect world, you'd put Kirk at the slot,
Yep.
Speedy at the slot. Speedy's a slot guy. You give him a two-way go on defenders, I think he can be dangerous. And you give, Jones and Reynolds on the outside, I think that's a nice little matchup that you have. It's a matchup problem on the offensive side. But I'll tell you who else looked good was Kyle Allen. Everybody's talking about Murray coming in.
There's a huge buzz on Kyle Allen.
I'm telling you, I liked him last year. As a true freshman, what he did, how he performed, the way he took control of the offense later on in the season, especially in that bowl game. You saw the growth that he had, and now he transferred that to the field in spring ball. I like what I see from Kyle now.
How much Kyler did you watch when he was in high school? Being right there in Plano.
I saw a lot. Of course, because my high school, I'd go to the games, and he's same district rivalry.
Plano West.
Yeah, when you see Murray, you see a guy athletic. That's the first thing you notice whenever you see Murray.
Mm-hmm.
But you see, the thing that I liked from him the most was how he took control of the team. Now, of course, he's a senior. You see you get that just from the time that he had playing, but the control that he had, the confidence that his teammates had with him. That's something that you like too. Now, when you come down, you talk about a potential quarterback battle. I don't know if I see that. Especially with the way Kyle's playing right now. He looked confident, strong, smooth, made direct throws. I mean, it was nice, and it's something you want to see out of a quarterback.
Yeah, and that helped. That helped Kenny win the job over Kyle Allen because he had that extra year.
Right.
Kyler's going to have to be a lot better than Kyle from the word go to win the job. He's just going to have to because Kyle does have wins under his belt.
I will tell you this. I think you can't get too high on a high school guy, a guy coming from high school, I should say.
He's pretty good, though.
He's good. But it's also is a learning curve.
Yeah,
when you come in from high school, a lot of what people miss, they miss the adjustment. You're leaving home for the first time. You're on your own, really. You know what I mean? You're in a new environment, a new system, new people, new players. And so, you have to be able to adjust. It's not everybody can't come in and just all of a sudden just get it. And so, when you look at the growth that Kyle Allen has, Murray can come in and make an impact. I'm not saying that. But at the same time, don't be upset if there's adjustments along the way. There's growing pains along the way.
Mm-hmm. On the defensive side of the ball, man, that defensive end position's got a chance to be special, doesn't it?
Right.
And as a DB, you played with Vaughn when he busted out.
Right.
Wasn't your last year Vaughn's bust-out year?
Yeah, yep, sure was. The 17 sacks and all that.
17 sacks.
Sure was.
How much did that make your life easier knowing Vaughn was and how many times, double that many times he put significant pressure on a QB, forced him to move from the spot, forced him to react quicker, not just camp out in the pocket.
Right.
How much does that make your job so much easier when there's a guy like Miles and maybe even more guys now emerging that can tag team with Miles?
It's huge. What everybody has to understand is the pass rush makes a defensive back. You can have the greatest defensive back in the world, but he's nothing without a pass rush. And so when you get those guys, and you get guys teamed up with Miles, and the rush that he's going to give you. But man, you get that team, you get that core group of D linemen who can rush that passer. Life is so much easier for a defensive back. It is, the clock for a quarterback is shorter. I think what I would say the average play is maybe 3 to 4 seconds, if that long. And so if you can reduce that in half, make that a second and a half, that's all you got to do is cover for a second, man, that's easy. And it gives really the safeties, especially the way Chavis wants to play defense, where those safeties, they're basically it's free range. Man system, free range safeties where they can make a lot of plays. Man, you got the ability to make plays all over the place because you have the freedom and you have less time, which means you can be more direct, you can be more instinctive, and you can take control of and dictate what the offense does.
Yeah, and when you pair elite safeties with elite corners, that's when you see a type of defense that John Chavis has been known for at two different spots in the SEC. He had, I'm sorry, elite defensive ends with elite corners. Let's do that. Okay. Let's say it the right way. This is English.
Let's do it.
When you pair elite defensive ends, which I think A&M's got one of them, and has a real good chance because there are about 5 options to find another one. Be that Deshaun Hall, Quaylen Cunningham, Jarrett Johnson, somebody like that. they've got an opportunity to have elite defensive ends.
Right.
What they don't have yet, on paper, on full display, we hadn't seen it on Saturdays, are elite corners.
Right.
That's something that they've got to do, but it's going to make their life a lot easier. The scheme is going to make it a lot easier. Now, we've been talking a lot this morning about Devontae Harris.
Okay.
What do you think about this kid going into his senior year, having gained 15 pounds, and it seems like he's as locked into being good as he's ever been in his A&M career?
What I see from Devontae, I finally see what's the best word to use? A mature player. That's what I see. So, especially when you're out there on the practice field, what you see him taking control of the defense. You see him taking control really of the secondary. What they're doing, the adjustments that they have to make on motion shifts, different things like that. But with Devontae, man, I see the mental side. So yesterday, we'll take this, watching like one-on-ones, for example, yesterday with Devontae. He was running the routes that the receivers are running. But that comes with studying your opponent. That comes with studying the stems of the receiver, the routes, the different route combinations that they run. And when you see that from a corner, sky's the limit. He put on the 15 pounds, looks good. Looks like he can handle the press coverage that Chavis wants to run. Because Chavis wants the physical guys, long arms. That was on display at practice yesterday, and I'm excited to see Devontae. I think this is going to be the breakout year for Devontae.
It's got to be.
I
you got
think
one
it
more.
is.
You see that with seniors too, don't you? Because they know this is their last chance.
Right. Exactly.
And if you're playing this game and you're a senior and you're playing at this level, you want to make money playing this game.
Right. Exactly.
He even said that yesterday.
That's the goal.
He said, this 180 is going to be good and the physicality of the SEC and all this stuff, but it's not going to hurt with the scouts either.
Oh, no.
And he's an open book when it comes to interviews. He's just saying what's on his mind all the time, free flowing, top of mind. And that's what he said. It's not going to hurt at the next level.
Well, this is another thing, too. When you're talking about adding the weight, this is what people got to understand is safeties are part of the run fit. I mean, not safeties, corners, excuse me.
That's right.
Corners are part of the run fit. When you look at man coverages, man, if it's a run, they got to be involved. If you're looking at a cover 2 scheme, people say that there's really, 7, 8 in the box. You really got 9 in the box if you count the 2 corners. And so by him adding that weight, being able to go against these bigger receivers, you can shed blocks, you can be involved in the run, which will help his draft stock.
Give me your ranking. Who's the number one DB you look out there and says, this guy's the best football player in the defensive backfield for Texas A&M right now? And then we'll go down from there. But who's the top dog?
All right, I'm going to give you 5.
Okay.
I'm going to give you 5.
You going to order these 5?
We're going to order them, but it's going to be in a different kind of way. We're going to do 1A and 1B.
Oh, okay.
That's what we're going to do.
All right.
So,
you taking the easy way out?
Oh, no, we're going, I'm being honest now. I'm being honest. So, let's do this. Let's go, Armani Watts is 1A.
Okay.
When I see him,
agreed.
I see a complete defensive back. That's what I see, especially for the safety position. So, seeing him, he's put on weight, put on muscle. He's better run fit now because we all know he can play the pass. That's his specialty. That's his strength. But seeing him, being able to fit on runs, taking better pursuit angles, you can tell he's really grown in that aspect. Yeah, got good range, all that.
He got eaten up a little bit against the run. Remember Alex Collins?
Right.
Put a little step on him, a little jab step on him. It was to the house. Now, I messed up yesterday and called him a finesse player. He's not a finesse player. What he is he's not that good against the run, but he's getting better.
Right.
Because he's not a finesse player because look what he does in breaking up passes.
Exactly.
He'll hit you.
Exactly.
He's just better against the pass than he is the run. That's a freshman.
What you got to understand, see, everybody makes a big deal about that run that he had, missed tackle. But, man, when you have nothing but space at safety, I've been in this position plenty of times. Man, that's one of the hardest things to do in football.
You get exposed too.
And see, when you're in the secondary, you're the last line of defense. So every mistake that you have, people see. It's not like you're a D lineman who went through wrong gap. Nobody's going to tell. And so when you look at him, he improved a lot in that aspect. So I like him 1A, 1B, and I was going to say Harris on this one, but I really like Evans though. Just watching the way he moves. I like the command that he's taking right now. He's been here, 6 weeks maybe? If that long.
He's been on the practice field for about 3 or 4.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, 6 weeks in total, just being the early enrollee, I think, maybe.
Yep.
And so you see him taking the control, physical, great body type, plays well in space, great open field tackler. That's one thing that you like. And safety, you got to be a good open field tackler. I think the combination between them two, a 1-2 punch, is going to be nice. You let Armani have the range in the secondary. Let him go sideline to sideline. You let Evans play more in the box, down making tackles. I like that.
Chief likes to do that too with a strong safety, doesn't
I like
he?
it.
Playing near the line of scrimmage,
more like
near the box.
Tyrann Mathieu type player. I see that.
Like on the edge of the box a little bit, where you almost don't know if you're going to count him or not.
You can almost use him almost like a nickel or a dime. Nickel is nothing but a linebacker. You just got the speed on the field that time, with a defensive back.
Yep.
So, you can use him in that nickel set, that dime set, especially when he goes that Mustang package. I think he fits well in there. And, he has the aggressive style to play actually in the box. B gap to B gap, A gap to A gap. If you get in certain situations where you have to have those 6-7 DBs on the field. So I like him at 1B. Then I put Harris for my number 2 guy. If you want to, you're going to do that.
I did the same thing. I had Watts 1, Evans 2,
exactly,
and Harris 3.
If you look at Harris, the growth that he has, the command that he's taken over, I think he realizes he's a senior now. I think he understands that he has to take control of this because he has nothing left. This is it. The chips are in right now. And so the growth that he has, the mental side of the game that I saw from him, that's what I wanted to see. Physically, he had it. Physically, you can make changes. You can do what you do there. Either you have it or you don't at the corner. So I like him for the second spot.
He's got a lot of talent.
Yep. And I tell you who I really like too is Harvey. The more and more I watch Harvey, especially in those press situations, how physical, the physical play that he had, especially in practice. And the system that Chavis wants now. He wants those physical guys man to man. He wants to root receivers out of the routes, all that. Harvey's coming along. I like him.
I agree. I was watching him out there yesterday during the media session, and it's pretty evident that he's gained some good weight.
Right.
It's pretty evident maybe he's added an inch or two.
Right.
I don't think he's a Smurf at all.
No.
I think he gets knocked a little bit as being a short guy.
Right.
He's not that short.
Well, I'll tell you this. You got, people talk about height and length. Short guys also have an advantage because when they get their hands on you, the center of gravity is a whole lot better than those tall guys. They can get under you. The thing about it, when you're pressing, you want to get in the receiver's chest. Yeah. He can do that, especially with his height. You talk about length, that could be a disadvantage, but his height can be an advantage for him. And he's quicker.
He's no 6'2" guy, but we're not talking about a 5'7" little Smurf here either.
Right, exactly.
He's bigger than that.
He can play. And I tell you, here's my dark horse. Here's my dark horse, and we're looking at Garner. I like him for the nickel spot.
Okay.
The growth that I've seen with him, you see the development. You finally see him getting a chance. Because remember, we talked about Chavis coming in, everybody having a clean slate. And so when you look at Garner coming in, Garner could be one of those guys who can fight for playing time. So I see him being the nickel, the dime. You're looking at those two packages. Look at him in the Mustang package, getting those 6-7 DBs on the field. He's somebody who can fight for that playing time, and he could push Harvey for that opposite corner spot.
They're raving about him right now.
If he keeps playing well. And so based on what I've seen, this can be somebody who can have a huge impact for the defense.
Yeah, they're raving about him right now. Got a question for Jordan Pugh. Call us at 693-1150 on the Mac Resource Computers hotline or text 229-1939. Right. Let's go rapid fire. Ask JP. We've got 3 minutes left.
Let's do it.
We're going to go to the social center. Alex, here's what we're going to do. You're going to ask him a question, and I'm going to ask him a question because I've got my own list of Ask Jordan Pugh questions that we've pulled and haven't been able to ask you from previous weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Alex has some that are coming in hot and heavy right now on the Commerce National Bank inbox. You get the first crack at it, AP.
All right, Jordan, who is your favorite coach at any level, high school, college, or pro?
Ooh, favorite coach, Kynes.
Okay.
Coach Kynes. Easy, hands down.
Because he's hilarious.
He's just funny. You knew the passion you're going to get from him. You knew you were going to get one-liners left and right.
Oh.
Deliver Me was my favorite, though, especially when I found out the meaning of Deliver Me.
Tell me about this.
He said he used to say Walking Inferno all the time. Then after a bad play, he used to say Deliver Me. And one day I went up and asked him, said, Coach, why do you keep saying Deliver Me? He's like, man, y'all just practice so bad. I'd rather God just come get me right now and take me to heaven versus watch y'all practice. Coach Kynes, all day, every day. That's number one.
He's awesome. Yep. All right. This was along the same lines. Ask Jordan Pugh questions here. Favorite teammate ever at A&M?
Ooh.
Who was the best teammate you had?
Wow. That's hard. Anthony Lewis.
Really?
Anthony Lewis. If you're talking about teammate, I loved him. That was my man. But then you got Gerard.
Yeah. Jordan Peterson.
Peterson. I mean, but Anthony was probably Anthony's probably my right-hand man.
Good deal.
Yep, Anthony Lewis probably be the best one.
AP, got another one?
I do have another one. G-Man doesn't want to be a negative Nelly, but he wants to know what you see as our major weakness.
Oh, D-line and secondary play. So, we have a great pass rush, but you have to be able to stop the run. If you can control the run, you control everything. And so, when you look at the D-line, our D-tackles really have to step up. They have to make plays. That's probably the biggest weakness. Everybody harps on the secondary, but if you can't control the run, which means they can use play action on top of that. Mm-hmm. And so, our D-line and our secondary play has to get better if we want to win games. We're going to score points on offense. That's not going to be a problem. That's just system in and of itself, but those two things have to be fixed.
All right, I've got one more, and then we'll go AP to wrap it up.
All right.
Best player you ever played with or against, college or pro? Best player you ever saw on a football field?
Best player.
In a game that you played in.
Okay, I name a couple guys. Larry Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Calvin Johnson.
Yes.
Best running back. This may surprise some people. Frank Gore.
No.
Hands down. I played against Adrian Peterson, LaShawn McCoy, DeMarco Murray. I mean, you name them. I played against
Gore better than
Frank
Peterson?
Gore.
Because he runs so hard?
Frank
Beast?
Gore is just – his vision is crazy. I've never seen anybody make cuts. You talking about hard to tackle. I played against Marshawn Lynch, all those guys. But Frank Gore, probably hands down best running back I played against.
AP, you got one more to wrap us up?
Got one more, Jordan. What happened to all of the big safeties that we used to have?
Oh, they're gone. That day and age is over with. You can't do it anymore.
Why, they're spinning them down the linebackers?
Yeah, you got to. The game is speed now. It's speed. You can't have – safeties back in the day were nothing but linebackers today because everybody ran the ball, triple option, zone read. We still got the zone read today, but more eye backs, more split backs. Now it's 7-on-7 now. You got to have big corners playing safety. And so that's where it's just a generational thing now, and that's where the big safeties are going. They're going to linebacker.
Yeah, big safeties today are Justin Evans.
Right.
He's considered a big safety
exactly.
today.
When you look at 220, you got Mike linebackers at 220 now.
Yeah.
And it's just a different game now.
Justin Dunning's technically under 210, and we think he's a freak safety because how big he is
I'm telling
for the position. Most of us think he's got to spin down.
I want to see him in person, but I just have a feeling he's going to be Will linebacker. He's too athletic to be in the Mike or the Sam, but get him out in space.
And that's our line of thinking in today's age of football. We're thinking spin him down and have more speed on the field.
Exactly.
We used to not think that way.
That's how speed kills. People talking about size, but if you get 5 guys around the ball, I guarantee you that running back's not going too far. I'd rather take 5 guys versus 1 big guy.
Absolutely. You want to take 30, 45 minutes, do whatever you want, come on back and we'll do these videos.
Let's do it.
All right, thanks so
All right,
much.
then. I appreciate it.
Really good stuff.